You don't hear passport bros saying, "Oh, we want to get rid of a whole gender of women." Like, no, we're not saying anything like that. We're just going to countries where women, in most cases, women of other African descent that have traditional mindsets, and that's pretty much all it is. That's the main difference between, I would say, passport bros and divestors.
So real quick, because I know that I think that the people that you affiliate with in the passport roles, I do think that you guys are more you guys are doing it the right way. But I have heard people, and I don't know if they're true passport bros, who have kind of knocked, black women as well, to state their purpose of being passport bro. So, and I don't know much about the divestors, but I've heard that comment. I think it was what's the
So one of the things I noticed in comparison to divestors and passport bros, right? Um, it seems to me that a lot of the passport bros are still looking for black women outside of America or versions of like Afro Latina or other real dark skinned women. And it's not that they hate black women per se. It's that they really are just trying to get a different mindset. Um, the divestors kind of seems a little different. Can you speak to what you think the differences are between the two movements?
Oh man, absolutely. I mean, for real, if you want to, I'll stick around to talk about the whole divestor situation because I definitely want to chime
well, we
in on.
would love you to.
Yeah, because I got a few words for them. They probably ain't gonna like, but yeah, definitely. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Colombia first. Um, and eventually I want to, I'm like, go to Africa as well. That's one of the main things. Black men still want to be with black women. There's actually more black people in Brazil alone than there are the whole United States, and a lot of people don't know that. So I probably would want to see Brazil as well. And I would say the big difference is the divestors are pretty much kind of like, we're completely, detaching ourselves from black men in general. And one of the things that I hate the most that they say is that they want to unalive black male fetuses, and that's like some of the most disgusting things I've ever heard, which is one of the reasons why I don't understand why the passport bros get so much pushback, because you don't hear anything like that said in this space. Nothing whatsoever. You don't hear passport bros saying, "Oh, we want to get rid of a whole gender of women." Like, no, we're not saying anything like that. We're just going to countries where women, in most cases, women of other African descent that have traditional mindsets, and that's pretty much all it is. That's the main difference between, I would say, passport bros and divestors.
So real quick, because I know that I think that the people that you affiliate with in the passport roles, I do think that you guys are more you guys are doing it the right way. But I have heard people, and I don't know if they're true passport bros, who have kind of knocked, black women as well, to state their purpose of being passport bro. So, and I don't know much about the divestors, but I've heard that comment. I think it was what's the head divestor's name? What's the lady's name?
Uh, Cynthia G.
Cynthia G. So I've heard that people. I haven't seen the episode myself because I don't really follow her, but I've heard that she made that statement. Um, as far as the divestors are concerned, and you're right. I've never heard Passport Bros say something that to that level, but I have heard them say things to knock one. Oh, I don't deal with black women because blah 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 blah. But you said it so eloquently, which is totally different from the way they say it. And I think it's all about how you say it. So,
So I'm going to step in here, Shan. An average man can maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are some people whose definition of black is strictly um, in like the ADOS context, where it's only American black women. they don't consider black. It's like more of a political term than an actual like race or ethnicity, right? So I think sometimes when some of those people say those things, it's not to black women across the globe. It's specifically towards black American women or black African American women.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I mean, because it's really getting to the point now where I mean, I'm like one of my subscribers recently just sent me a video of a woman from Kenya, like clapping back at Black American women. I mean, and that's one of the things that we try to stress in this space is that when we say Black women, we're not talking about Black women across the globe. I'm like, is Black American women specifically, and not to say that all Black American women are under that umbrella of the certain traits that we discuss, but like I was saying earlier, like why try to find a needle in a haystack when you got a haystack full of needles elsewhere? So yeah, but I agree
Go
with you.
ahead, Marcus, and then I'm gonna do the super chat, and I want to show this video. Go ahead.
So what I think really messes it up is we live a lot of our life on social media, a lot of that times nowadays. And the women that, in my opinion, typically be the type of women that men are looking for, they not heavily fixated on social media. So it's really hard to see those black women because they not gonna make it. I've heard them say things like, "I'm making it a point not to show my body if I even am on there," so they won't ever feed into the algorithm of women that men would come across. So like if you're looking for American black women, you're probably gonna have to get outside. Not you per se, but just men in general. You're gonna have to get outside and interact in spaces that aren't like the hot spot, like the club and all of that. Like that's just been my observation.
Yeah,
Friends,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree. I never been much of a club person anyway. I mean, to be honest with you, man, I'm like, to be honest with you, I was dating outside of my race, you know, in the States. So it's not like, it was never like I didn't expand my options. I'm I'm like, because that's why it was so funny when Coach K said that she was from Cincinnati, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I dated a woman that looked like Coach K at some point in time. So I'm like,
Coach K, you
dead,
know him?
dead.
The Midwest look. I don't know.
No, shout out to the Midwest women. I ain't gonna that's like
Yeah,
on the other side, but I will say the
hey,
Midwest women real grounded and chill. I met
yeah,
chill women everywhere, but I got to stand up for my
That's fine.
Midwest women too.
They're most of them are feminists though, I'll tell you that.
Hey,
mm-hmm,
really?
mm-hmm,
Yeah, like
Um,
yeah,
yeah.